Ever heard of a crime so gruesome it had you up for days? This is the story of Cabin 28. In July of 1979, a woman named Sue Sharp made a life-changing decision. She packed up her 5 children, left Connecticut behind, and headed across the country to Northern California. At first, the family stayed in a small trailer near the town of Quincy. Then, in the fall of 1980, they moved into Cabin 28 at the Keddie Resort. For Sue, it was a chance to start over. She was 35 years old, raising 5 children on her own and trying to build a better future. Keddie was a quiet mountain community tucked deep in the Sierra Nevada forests, the kind of place where people felt safe. No one could have imagined what would happen there less than a year later, April 11th, 1981. It was a Saturday, and for the Sharp family, the day seemed completely normal. Sue spent part of the day visiting friends and picking up her son, Rick, from baseball tryouts. On the drive home, she spotted her son John and his friend Dana Wingate hitchhiking near the canyon. She stopped and gave them a ride back. Later that afternoon, John and Dana returned to Quincy. Witnesses reported seeing them downtown. It would be the last confirmed sighting of either boy alive. That evening, Sue's daughter Sheila went next door to spend the night with neighbors in Cabin 27. Around 9:30 p.m., 12-year-old Tina Sharp walked home to Cabin 28. Before leaving, she asked someone what time it was. Nobody knew it then, but it would be the last time anyone outside the cabin would see Tina alive. Around the same time, several witnesses reported seeing a dark green van parked near Cabin 28. The vehicle was never identified, and no one ever explained why it was there. The next morning, Sunday, April 12th, began like any other day around 10 a.m. Sheila returned home to Cabin 28 to get ready for church. She was 14 years old. She had no reason to expect anything unusual. Then she opened the door. Inside the living room was a scene that would shock investigators for decades. Sue Sharp, John Sharp, and Dana Wingate, all 3 were found in the living room. They had been tied up with tape and electrical cords. Tina was nowhere to be found, terrified. Sheila ran next door screaming for help. Meanwhile, Sue's 3 younger sons were discovered alive inside a nearby bedroom. Remarkably, they were physically unharmed. Investigators later recovered 2 knives and a hammer from the scene. Evidence suggested the attack had taken place entirely within the living room. But one detail stood out. Sheila's flute case had been deliberately placed on top of one of the weapons. It served no obvious purpose, yet someone had intentionally arranged it there. Even stranger, neighbors living only a few feet away reported hearing nothing during the night.